Last month I did a demo of a recently completed prototype of a tabletop, and it went so-so. So today I found there's another competition that this robot is eligible for in Robo Games. It's the obstacle course. So I just shoved together a new gate for this thing to try to go through the obstacle course, and it's actually surprisingly difficult. It's a legged robot with cheap servos and cheap switches and things like that, and it's very prone to,
nice use of hose clamps.
Yes, it's got hose clamps and everything on that. So I'm waiting for it to boot up. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't done booting up first. But in this obstacle course, you have to go over a whole bunch of stuff, including some steps at the very end. And if you make it through, there's a timing on it. And of course, it's not quite working. So in the meantime, I'm waiting for it to boot up. So in the meantime, here is my donkey car. I'll put one together. It was really easy and straightforward. If you can get the car is hard to find sometimes. I hear it was on Amazon again. I don't know if it's sold out like it was the previous 3 times, but it sells out very quickly. If this thing doesn't start up real soon, I will just relinquish my spot, because it was supposed to have already started.
Technology is great when it works.
Yeah.
So are you ready, Mark, or should I skip to somebody else?
Okay, well, sorry about it. It would do a nice high step through this thing and over the
Probably a minute or two.
Sorry about that.
I just want to get it connected.
Like it did something.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is Durant.
Durant.
Deep understanding robotic ant.
Okay.
Kevin.
Is that a tribute to Tony Pratt-Cannon?
Okay.
Sorry about that.
This is scary looking.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 things to talk about. And the first is the less interesting one, which is this balancer robot that I have spent the last 3 weeks on. And this is for Robo Games. And an interesting thing about this is that it uses a reaction wheel, like how satellites sort of position, instead of just sort of moving itself under itself to try and balance. It doesn't really work. It's really good at falling over and spending my time. But yeah, I guess I'm talking about this because it's mildly interesting, and because according to Dave Calkins, I'm the only person to enter in the balancer race.
Gold!
Yeah, so I'll get first and last place simultaneously, but I'm hoping for more people to enter into that. So even if you have a robot, you can just dig out of the trash or something. That would be fun.
As a judge for Robo Games, you actually have to complete the task for the day.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Just want to let you know.
Yeah. It's not so easy then. The other thing, this is a labor of love, and yeah, it's basically like I got so crazy enough that instead of just making robots that don't work, I made robots that don't work, and then I put them on my body.
Excellent.
And yeah, so it's an exoskeleton. It does this lifting axis on my right arm, and on its own it can lift 93 pounds, and it does so with a bike brake cable sort of mechanism on these 2 sides. And then all the motor and the electronics and the motor controller and stuff is on the backpack. Yeah, and so I'm just going to demo it because, and I hope it works because it was working at home, so who knows?
You gonna tell them the actually?
Yeah.
Switching on here.
Alright, and the fan's going. Yeah, there you go. So, it may be difficult to actually tell, but it's getting the angle from my left arm with this brace, and then moving this side to that angle position. Yeah, I didn't actually bring a weight, but let's see if I can handle the backpack. Yeah, and so right now I'm just gripping it, but I'm just resting on the exoskeleton, and I can move it up and down. Yeah. this is bang bang control, not PID control. I can moan about PID if you ask me later. I'm not a fan. Yeah, especially when you turn on the eye component and the whole thing, you know, chews through all of your 3D printing time in a matter of seconds. But yeah, that's the thing. 360 watt power supply. Tethered here, going to a brushless motor controller, going to a censored brushless motor, and through a 100-to-1 planetary gearbox into a winch, pulling a cable through a tube, and then it moves the arm. Next steps are battery, and probably a hand. Yeah, trying to think about it for like search and rescue applications. That's sort of difficult to actually make happen, so we'll see what happens. I'll open source it eventually when I'm convinced that it won't like grievously hurt someone. Yeah, that's about it.
Have an arm wrestling event.